Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmitty, Swanee and Clarky visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, how are we?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Very well over here too.
Excellent, excellent. Any news? Anything exciting happening?
I got a new car during the week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, it was fancy. It's a new work car, but it's still fancy.
That's
Is it a
excellent.
cube?
It's not a cube, unfortunately. They're not
Well,
one of
you've
the
lost
ones we
my
get to
interest.
choose from. Yeah.
Now, that'd be a good work car, wouldn't it?
Oh.
A cube. I don't even know who makes it. Is it a Renault or something?
Particularly if my
Is it a
job
Nissan?
was abducting people and killing them. Cube would be perfect.
Well, that's exciting.
It is.
Yes. What about you, lot?
Finished off my week at work because I'm now on leave, thank goodness. Had 2 people arrive from England for the wedding, and we're already in wedding setup and festivities, which pre-starting the recording I was saying I'm feeling a bit tired.
Oh,
But I'm taking them up to Eldon, so I'm hoping to get at least a day of a little less carry-on, which would be good. And you, Swanee?
it's been a bit of a weird week. I've had sick children home from school already. We're only in week 2 of term. Sick dog. I did go and see Sting last night in concert, which was very nice. So it was a nice sort of change of pace after being, doing housework and motherly duties and all that kind of jazz. So that was good.
Well, according to the story you told us before we started, it was quite a change of pace, I would say.
Yes.
won't
You're not
repeat
wrong.
any
It was
details,
quite
but-
quite a change of pace, but it will lead nicely into what are we drinking? Because I can tell you what
Yes.
I'm drinking. A big
What are you
fat
drinking?
Coke no sugar. Yes, and in fact, I haven't had one yet, and I've got a second one lined up, ready to go. I've called in for.
The old hangover management.
Yeah,
What about
had-
you boys? What are you
No
drinking?
hangover. We're having a Tatachilla rosé
Ooh.
from the McLaren Vale.
That looks very pretty.
It's very pretty. It's very light. It actually says on it, light and fresh rosé.
Very nice.
It's only 9% alcohol, so 5.3
Which brings me to my
standard drinks
question.
in the bottle. Yes.
Was there a slight shift over the last weekend away from 0%?
Several times. Yes.
I thought I might have picked up on that.
Fell hard
Yes.
off that wagon.
We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
We did think a lot about going and getting another bottle of Zero, but we just didn't get to Dan Murphy's.
Oh,
Um,
fair
I have an
enough.
image of these pair jumping off a moving wagon, just rolling off it like
Yeah, full speed, like 8
Absolutely.
horses pulling it.
correct. Yeah.
What
yeah.
are we doing on this wagon? Get
Yeah.
off it, quick.
It's oh my god! It's not even a wagon; it's a Nissan Cube.
Precisely.
Oh,
Yes. And Schmitty,
yeah.
what about you?
Well, yes, I went from sort of like you guys, although I think I was a bit longer in my abstinence. I've gone from about 7 or 8 weeks of almost no alcohol to 4 nights solid since my friends arrived from the UK. And I've had one little hangover on Friday, and then miraculously, I just feel very tired today. I was going to do the whole Carla and no, I can't drink. But then I thought, fuck it. So I'm drinking a vodka cruiser, but it's not a mango chutney. This is a mixed berry one. And it's just because
what?
that's what mixed berry.
Oh.
But that's
I
what I
said
had.
Monster Berry.
It's a bit
No,
highfalutin for you.
But remember, they are only 70 calories. So I thought, oh, well, I'm making some allowance anyway. All right. So I suppose we should introduce ourselves just before we crack on. I'm Schmitty.
I'm Swanee.
And I'm Clarky, and together we are
Trial by Wine. All right, cool. Now, Clarky, what do you got for us today?
Well, in 6 months' time, we will actually be on our cruise. And so I'm continuing with the cruise theme. So hopefully no one's getting sick of cruise themes. Although I must say, the more I research these, the more or the less attractive a cruise becomes. So I'm going to tell you the story of Lonnie
In 4
Kocontes.
weeks' time, I go on a cruise. But cheers,
Yeah,
thanks
well,
for that.
that's true. Yeah. Well, at least you're not doing the research, right? You're just hearing
True,
the stories. So I'm going to tell you the story of Lonnie Kocontes and Miki Kanasaki.
Who?
It's me, you won't know it. So I'll tell you my sources. So NBC Los Angeles, Oxygen.com, dailymail.co.uk, the Cinemaholic, medium.com, heavy.com.
Oh, this is a good one.
ocregister.com, ocweekly.com, and
Wow.
mirror.co.uk. Let me start. So Miki Kanasaki met her husband, Lonnie Kocontes, while working as a paralegal at a Los Angeles law firm. Laurie was a well-known attorney, and the two fell in love quickly. They married in 1995, and she was his second wife at the time. And however, the relationship wasn't to last, and they divorced in 2002 after Lonnie was caught being unfaithful. The two kept living together, sharing the home whilst working to untangle their assets. That'd be tough, wouldn't it?
Can I just check? Is Lonnie the man?
Lonnie's the man.
And
yeah.
Mickey's the woman.
Yeah, Micki.
Yeah,
It's funny because when you first said their names, I completely assumed the other way around.
So Mickey's the woman, Lonnie is the
bloke.
Yeah,
okay.
Well,
Lonnie.
I look forward to you both continuing to do that all the way through this story.
You know me, I just change their names entirely.
Marie and Lonnie.
So bad.
Yeah.
That same year, Lonnie went onto a dating website and met Amy Nguyen, a soft-spoken Vietnamese immigrant and school teacher. The two struck up an intimate relationship, frequenting, and this is not my phrase, but I do like it, frequenting cheap no-tell motels.
Oh.
No-tell
motels. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard no-tell motel. I get
you do it by the hour or something.
Yeah. By the hour
I've heard it by the hour, but
you don't need a credit card, it's only cash.
And I like it that it rhymes. No-tell motel.
Sounds a bit sordid.
Yes, and of course Miki initially had no idea about it. After a while, the two went public with their relationship, and in 2005, they married in Las Vegas, making Amy his third wife. Towards the end 2005, Lonnie left Amy and moved back in with Miki.
Oh.
Hang on. He's gone back to his second wife from his third wife.
Yes. Lonnie and Miki decided to give it a second go. However, it wasn't going so well. The police were called on several occasions due to domestic violence. It was reported that Miki was the one who initiated the violence in those scenarios.
Okay.
After one such visit by the police, Lonnie decides to try to patch things up by suggesting the two go on a romantic getaway and start afresh.
That'll do it?
Yep.
I know
Miki agrees.
The police are being called, but I've got an idea.
Yeah, that's right. You're happy.
Have I got an idea for you?
Yeah. Miki agrees, and they book a Mediterranean cruise aboard the Island Escape. It was unusual for Lonnie to do something so indulgent, and he spent lots of time picking out the right cruise with a balcony room so the two could enjoy the ocean views. And I must say, we got very excited about the idea of a balcony room. Yeah.
So every time I've ever been on a cruise, I've had a balcony, but I can almost feel like I know where this is going.
Yeah.
We've got it this time around. We've got what I think they call it a sunset balcony, and it's because it's at the back of the boat. So it points out. I'll probably hear the noise of the engines all the time. Anyway.
And do they always make sure that the sun sets to the back of the boat so that
they bloody better? Otherwise, it's false advertising.
I was so excited when we decided to get a balcony room, and the more of this research I've done of these stories, a balcony room is less and less attractive. I think
it's lovely,
nestled away in the middle of the boat.
Oh no! Not if it's rough, because then you get all the feeling of being enclosed.
You're going to be like high alert.
They are. They're going to be terrified.
Suspicious behaviour, locking the doors, checking we safe. Oh, God.
Well, can we go to the nightclub? No, we can't. No. What time is it? Bed now. Lock the doors.
Yeah.
We better not go to the nightclub because Carla will judge us.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can't go on the first night.
Go on the first night with the kids at home.
No.
I don't think this would sit comfortably with Carla.
We might have to text you before every decision we make.
Just let us know where you are. Yeah. Do you think it'll be all right? No.
Yeah.
Go back to your room.
Thinking we might head down to the nightclub.
Is this A, safe, and B, acceptable behaviour?
I'm in the toilets. We've just met these nice guys. No, abort now. Get out.
Get out.
Carla, do you know what GBH is? And what are the side effects? Right, so the cruise departs from Spain. So on the 21st of May 2006, the two fly from Minnesota, via London to Spain to meet the boat. On the first day, they set sail for Italy whilst enjoying the entertainment on board, which is probably one of those, what was the last lot called? Sunset cocktails or something, remember?
No, the first night one. You had a name for it, Schmitty, you knew that.
The Sail Away.
Sail Away party.
Sail away party. Yeah.
So that's probably what
Do you know what? I actually saw people that I know from school. They went on a small cruise this week, like to trial it. I think they went from Sydney to Melbourne, and they posted their photos leaving Sydney Harbour and called it the Sail Away party, whatever else.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know what one of those is now.
Is that the party where they just play Enya over and over again? Not much of a party. So they also did a day excursion to Sicily. On the evening of May the 25th, they enjoyed dinner and shared a bottle of wine. They went to the ship's casino and watched a show before heading back to their cabin. Carla,
sounds about standard.
All above board behaviour so far?
So far, yes.
About standard for the first night. Yep. Although you missed the bit where they raced to the restaurant so that they could book in advance.
Yes.
Was that the first night though?
You got to do that when you first get on board. Yes.
It was at the first night.
No, they had the sail away party and then they had
then the
this
next one.
other-
Okay, right. That makes more sense because I was going to say they've travelled a fair bit of distance if they've gone from Spain down to Sicily. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so all safe up until now.
Good. Yep.
Early the next morning, Lonnie alerted the crew that Mickey was missing.
Oh, that old chestnut.
He doesn't muck around. He said Mickey had left the room just after midnight to get a cup of tea and he'd taken a sleeping pill. When he woke up, Mickey wasn't there and hadn't returned to bed. So a full-scale search began, but there was no sign of Mickey. The only explanation was that somehow she'd fallen overboard.
She's out there swimming.
Wait for me.
Somehow.
She's doing the old, treading water. Thinking, someone comes along at some point.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just bob around here for a bit.
I'm assuming this is a really one of these ships that we've talked about being really high. So do we know what level they were on? Because it's literally like stories. If you fell off out of a thing, you're falling multiple stories into the water.
Yeah. It was certainly
it's terrifying me.
Yeah.
So this is the thing.
It's like hitting concrete.
I'm scared.
You have to walk around with like a life jacket on the whole time just in case.
I swear I'm going to be terrified on the balcony every time I'm there because I'm scared of heights anyway.
You'll just be like, it depends on how deep it is, right? Because they're generally, the only one I went on, when I took Mum and a friend of mine on a P&O, the balcony was huge. It was quite deep, but generally they're only like 5 or 6 feet out. So you'll just get to the door and we'll be like, come and look. And you're like, no, I'm not going near the edge.
I'll be like this up against the glass.
I'm safe here. I feel okay here.
Lonnie told authorities that perhaps Mickey had been tipsy from the wine they'd had that night and had stumbled overboard. How high are the barrels?
They're at least 1.4 metres high. You don't stumble over those.
I'd like them to be about 1.8 metres high. That would make sense.
Am I right? I'm making a massive assumption here, but is Mickey Asian?
Mm-hmm. Sounded like it.
It sounds like an Asian name. I could just imagine a tiny little
Asian lady
stumbling over a 1.4 metre high balustrade.
I'm sure
when she's 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
But of course, just in case that wasn't convincing enough, he also suggested she had a history of depression and perhaps she'd taken her own life.
Let's just throw that in there.
I'm gonna which way do you want to go with that? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you options.
Oh, well, I guess that's that then.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for your feedback.
Thanks, I've got a shower now. I've got to go for it.
Funnily enough.
Now that you say that, yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be one of those two. Couldn't be anything else.
Cruise crimes, Jesus.
I know, like fucking hell. Never. After this, I'm not this episode. I'm going to do a couple more, I think. But then, anytime I'm going to do something, I'm never going to research crimes about it before.
That's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good learning to take from this exercise.
Correct. Not before.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, the idea that she'd taken her own life was a suggestion that her family strongly denied. After hearing of Mickey's disappearance, authorities searched the cruise ship from top to bottom and were unable to find any trace of Mickey on board anywhere. And they know that if she's in the water, the odds of finding her are slim to none.
Yeah.
So they decide they'll question Lonnie a bit further. However, without any evidence, he was quickly released and sent to stay in a hotel in Naples while authorities investigate Mickey's on-board disappearance. Not having a bar of it, after one night at the hotel, Lonnie gets on a plane and heads back to California on the 27th of May.
Whoa.
Instead of going home,
he goes to Amy,
the Nguyen's house, where the couple resume their intimate relationship.
I
I'm
Okay.
really shocked.
Oh.
Really deeply shocked.
I'm not shocked at all. I just can't work out what the point, and maybe you'll get to this, but what was the point of going back to Mickey and going through all of this if he just goes straight back to Amy?
Well,
Right.
now that you asked the question, I want you to think about the answer to that.
Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of the tangled
Just
assets.
of life insurance.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Tell us all this time.
Yeah.
you now need to start introducing that. We've got so many now. That must be another one of your little sound bites.
Incredible. Yeah. Let's here we go. Life insurance policy. Right.
Yeah. So on the same day he heads back to California, the crew of a search vessel recovered Mickey's body.
Oh.
She'd been floating in the Mediterranean Sea just off the coast of Paola, Italy.
Yeah.
An
I
autopsy
mean, not
was...
Paola, Italy, yuck, but yuck
Oh,
that
yeah,
she was
no,
floating in the
definitely
sea.
not Paola, Italy. An autopsy was ordered and the doctor who conducted it stated the injury she suffered to the base of her neck, including a broken bone and severe hemorrhaging, resulted from a violent action that was continued on for a period of time,
He beat her to death.
as well as a blunt force trauma to her head.
No, she just tripped over.
Yeah.
Maybe hit her head.
She fell backwards off the balustrade the first 6 times trying to get over it.
Some of it could have been if she'd fallen and hit something on the way down. And also, when you fall at a height like that, you are when you hit the water, if you're not doing a pin drop or a safety drop, and even that would be bad,
Yeah.
you can, some of that,
Massive wedgie.
at least some of that trauma, but the fact that you said it was sustained.
Along with that, Mickey's lungs were full of air, meaning that she was
drown.
dead before she hit the water.
Yep.
Right.
Her lungs being full of air also caused her to float, meaning that she was easily found. Had she drowned, her lungs would have been filled with water and she would have sunk, making it almost impossible to find her. Ultimately, it was determined that she had been strangled.
Oh, so that trauma around the base of her neck and the bone that was broken, there's a little bone in your neck somewhere that usually is what indicates strangulation. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a tiny little...
How does she know this shit? Honestly,
I listen to too many other podcasts.
It's beyond disturbing now. Really.
Like the Adam's apple?
It's just
No, there's
sick.
some very
Swanee, do you want
small-
to just start doing our own
Almost-
podcast? She scares me.
I don't mind doing it as long as I'm in a different state. I think I'm safe, but it does worry me for others.
Well, Wiggers told me about it. No, it's like a wish. It's not a wishbone,
Don't
but
you
it's
fucking start with wiggers.
it's like a little, not a wishbone, but that's what I think of. But there's some tiny little bone in your throat or your neck that when you are strangled, that is usually how they determine strangulation. So when you said that there was a bone broken, maybe that was the bone in question.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so go on.
So when you are in that sort of thing, if you can avoid snapping that small bone, then you
Yeah,
might
then no one will know.
Good
Nothing
to
away.
know. Good to know.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, I don't want to go overboard here.
Have you ever successfully not broken that bone when strangling someone, Shitty?
I've never strangled
Only
anyone.
through practice. Not every time, only through practice, though.
Yeah, that's right. It's like those dolls that they have at first aid classes. I reckon Schmitty goes to
There goes another
murder classes and they bring out these dolls.
She does murder drills.
I want you to apply sustained pressure to the neck for 5 minutes without
Now
breaking
stop
the bone.
before you break it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pull up.
That's
Now
the
go
real
again.
skill.
Because it's all about asphyxiation, not breaking bones. That sounded terrible. All right, moving on.
So,
Boom.
so Lonnie quickly becomes a suspect as authorities find it odd that the couple who had already separated were going on a romantic cruise together.
So did I.
Yeah. However, Lonnie was adamant that they had reconciled and were even planning to remarry in November 2006. So, due to a lack of evidence to determine what happened, the case goes cold and Lonnie is free.
Hang on a minute. No, we were going to get married. Oh, okay then. Couldn't have been him. Bullshit. We've got evidence that she was in the cabin with him. We've got evidence that she's died before she hit the water. She's been strangled.
They haven't got evidence,
But they look at
that
anybody
she was
else?
in the cabin with him because he's saying he took a sleeping
yes,
pill.
so there's
She went to
suggesting-
a cup of tea.
Someone went and killed her for no apparent
Could have
reason.
been anyone.
Not
It
him.
could have been those 8 blokes from Adelaide or the 6 blokes from Adelaide.
No, they were busy.
This is the
Anyway.
thing about cruises, though. Like, you're in a confined space and no one knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think that they would have footage in the hallway that would show her going back into her room. happy
or on
days.
balconies.
Or on balconies. They
I
could,
reckon they do now.
they could have like little drones flying.
I
off.
reckon you will when you go. You'll
I
have it all
reckon.
rigged up from home, been down to Bunnings.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to wear body cam.
You have that ring thing on, you know, when someone gets delivers a parcel, you've got a doorbell on the front of your door. You've got the movement motion for the door out to the thing. It'll be very
It's just
secure.
Mum.
Yeah.
This is living, isn't it, Stu? Oh, yeah, we've got all this. Nothing says a holiday like this. Cell we've created for ourselves to give ourselves safe. You won't be able to sleep. Oh, my God. It's hysterical.
You'll be fine.
So anyway, case goes cold, but
Do they have any other suspects or anything? Or that was just like, it just all feels a bit like, oh, cut me ass.
it's all too hard. But so
I
part,
think this is the problem with cruise crimes.
but part of the problem is that this is a crime that's happened in Italian waters.
International waters,
on
but the boat's
international
licensed
rules
somewhere else. Yeah,
with
that's
people
right.
from another country.
That's right.
Lonnie, well done.
So,
Well researched.
oh.
Well, yes and no, but yeah, go on.
But then
You should have
Schmitty-
drowned her in the bath and then thrown her over, because then she wouldn't have floated, just saying. Anyway.
Thank you for
You're
your
an
insight.
ideas woman, Schmitty. Yeah.
Thanks for that insight. Also, again, talk to an expert if you need a job done.
Have you ever seen that show How to Get Away with Murder, Schmitty? I feel like that was
I don't need to.
written
No,
by
I haven't
you.
seen it. No, I haven't.
Netflix should have approached her for the second series. I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen it. Could be on the fourth series. I wouldn't know. I was just joking. But
So in 2008, Schmitty, Lonnie attempts to transfer $1 million between various bank accounts that belonged to his deceased wife.
Oh,
The-
Lonnie.
The authorities find out, and he again becomes the target of a federal investigation.
could you just repeat what did he try and do? He tried
To transfer $1 million between various bank accounts that belonged to his deceased wife.
Oh, that were hers. Okay, so he wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily taking money out. He was moving them within her own. Okay.
No, he's trying to put it into his
Trying
money.
to get them into his. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He again becomes the target of a federal investigation. However, the case against him fizzles out when Amy testifies before the grand jury on his behalf. So she basically does a whole lot of character referencing and everything, and says that it couldn't have possibly happened, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but it did.
I'm impressed that Mickey
she's-
had $1 million in a bank
Well,
account.
I'm a
That's
bit in
pretty impressive.
2008. That's a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have,
50
assets and
cents.
bits and pieces, but actually to have that in the bank that's a lot of money to have in the bank.
Correct. By 2013, Lonnie had left Amy, married his fourth wife, and subsequently divorced her and was living in Safety Harbor in Florida.
I need to see this man. What's he look like? Talk me through it. What age is he and what does he look like?
He's in his 50s. He might have even been 60-odd by now.
You know when you said at the beginning that they'd met at a law practice, I think. Is he quite a senior law?
Yeah, quite a well-known...
Okay, so women would find him powerful and attractive and rich and all the rest. That kind of person.
You
women
know,
feel?
he would obviously be rich being a lawyer. He was quite well-known. So I think when I say well-known, I think he might have been a bit of a personality kind of thing. So not just a good
bit of a
lawyer.
profile.
Not just
Yeah.
So do your Googling. You tell me if you think he's hot. I didn't do
I
it.
haven't looked yet. I won't look yet.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Lonnie
that's-
Koch. Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Kocontes.
Oh, right. Lonnie
Yeah,
Kocontes.
got it.
It's not a nice
What's he look
name.
at? Oh, he
Oh.
doesn't look.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Oh, hang on a
It
minute.
must be charming. Let's put it that way. Right. Okay.
We've got a big bank balance.
Oh.
So, so he's now living by himself after divorcing his fourth wife.
Who was his fourth wife? Do we have any details on her? Is she similar to the
Well,
others?
no, I think there probably was some, but I cut it out.
Okay.
'cause
Yeah.
I'm
No worries.
I'm less interested in all of that than you are. Sorry, I have to learn
No,
and go,
don't be- no,
Swanee,
it's
I want to
fine.
know this. I better find out.
Oh, no. I didn't mean that. I just, it might not be, obviously it's not relevant to the story, but I just was wondering what he'd sort of traded in for.
Yeah,
And
well,
whether, because Amy had testified in his favour, correct?
correct.
And then they part ways, he remarries, and then he's
Yeah.
already divorced the next woman.
Correct.
He was
Yeah,
very busy.
so in 2008,
Yeah.
she testifies in his favour. By 2013, he's left Amy, married a fourth wife, and subsequently divorced her.
Okay, so
So
it was
he
a
only
fair bit
has
of time.
short. He only has short.
Yeah, but it
marriages,
was. I was
though.
wondering if it was like years or something, but that's a bit longer than I thought actually. But there you go. Okay.
Yeah. It was then that Amy went to the police and said that she wanted to tell the
What a
truth,
surprise.
stating that in 2008 she'd been too afraid to do so.
And then I only stayed with him until 2013. Yeah.
Piss off, Amy.
Amy had overheard conversations between Lonnie and his best
Piss off,
friend.
Amy.
Yeah,
Oh,
piss
come
off,
on.
Amy.
I mean, you've perjured yourself. I've got no
Oh,
sympathy
got no
for
time
it
for you,
all.
Amy.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
none
yeah.
at all.
I
Right?
shouldn't say it.
You've got your harsh
Harsh.
pants on today, Schmitty. It must be because you're tired.
Yeah.
No, it's bullshit. She knows
I've got no
full
time
well.
for you, Amy.
You'll know.
She was going all along. She's not scared. She was going along with it, hoping
When
that
the
to
money
get
was,
the money. That's right. Yeah.
Correct.
You'll notice when Schmitty's not tired, she's far more accepting.
Am I? All right.
So, Amy had overheard conversations between Lonnie and his best friend about killing Mickey and taking matters into his own hands. Amy said that Lonnie had told her that he'd asked someone to come on the cruise and kill his wife in return for money, but they'd not gone. Amy thought he wasn't serious about it until the events transpired.
Oh, didn't she?
Oh, he's only joking. Just joshing.
Lonnie was pressuring her and even threatened to kill her.
Amy.
Yeah. According
That's
to
her
Amy.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably did.
Maybe.
Amy also admitted she had got rid of a computer hard drive that had evidence on because Lonnie had told her to, and she was frightened of what might happen if she didn't. Amy agreed to testify against her former husband. Finally, 7 years after Mickey's death, Lonnie was arrested and charged with murder. And an inmate claimed Lonnie came to him and attempted to solicit the murder of Amy to stop her from testifying against him.
He's got 4.
So, I do think there is some truth to what she was saying.
Oh, for sure.
The trial was delayed due to legal problems with Mickey's death taking place in international waters, Carla.
Yeah.
Although finally, so they actually had to work to try to find a reason to even have a case in America for it.
Wow.
But what they finally worked out that was the angle they took was that because the planning had been done in California, they could therefore hold the trial there. So this is how crazy the whole cruise thing is, that they're actually sitting there going, God, we might not even be able to do any kind of legal proceedings because it didn't happen in our jurisdiction.
This feels like in most of the episodes that I watch of like Law and Order, and they're trying to find an angle so they can bring something
Yes.
to. And you're like, you know someone's committed a crime, but it's not going to wash unless you have sort of some thing they can actually
Prosecute on. It's all about prosecution.
Yes.
And so Lonnie's a lawyer,
That's the
so he's
word.
probably given this a lot of thought and thought, well, it doesn't matter. Even if I do go back, they won't be able to do anything. So in 2020, over 14 years after Mickey's murder, the Kocontes went to trial. Like, this is something that if you murdered someone in a similar way on a cruise in the Docklands in Melbourne, it'd be done and dusted within a week kind of thing because it's that obvious. But
is that why you guys are
you
going to the
asking me?
Mediterranean? You've made that very clear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that, but this is like it's 14 years it's taken to get to trial.
I know.
Like, it's not like there's anything that isn't obvious in this as to what's happened.
I think, though, the American system's really slow when it comes to getting people to trial. Like, we've covered lots of things where people have sat around in jail for years waiting for their actual proper sentencing or proper trial. Yeah.
In her opening statement of the trial, Senior Deputy District Attorney Susan Price said Kanasaki at the time was with a man who no longer loved her and had remained with her for financial reasons.
Remained with her for financial reasons. And is that the insurance, or is that also because she had that money?
Yeah.
Or was that money the insurance?
Yeah, no, so she had the money, so he was with her for the money. So Kocontes' former best friend Bill Price told investigators that nothing mattered more to Kocontes than money and sex, the prosecutor said. Ooh. She said Kocontes married Nguyen in Las Vegas in 2005 and the two moved in together in Orange. In September of that year, he filed a motion in court to have a judge force Kanasaki to sell their Ladera Ranch home, Price said. There was a dispute between the two whose house this was, adding Kanasaki did not want to sell the residence or move out. Eventually, Kocontes dropped the issue, left Nguyen and moved back in with Kanasaki, but told Nguyen he loved her and did not want to leave her, the prosecutor said. Kocontes then had new wills drawn up for himself and Kanasaki, according to Price, who said Kocontes was named as executor of his ex-wife's estate. Schmitty, that's why he left and went back.
Yep.
Soon after, the two made plans to go on a cruise, which was unusual because he seldom went on vacation and was known for his thriftiness, Price said. Before the trip, Kocontes asked his best friend, a private investigator and retired cop, about security on cruise ships, such as surveillance cameras, she said.
There's not much.
Oh, my God.
Kocontes picked up an unusual cruise vacation for Americans because it required a flight to Minnesota and then London before boarding the ship.
It did seem a hell of a long way to get. Like, it seemed like a circuitous journey to get there, yeah.
Yeah. The travel agent was concerned his client might not like it because it was a no-frills trip aboard a converted ferry, she said.
Oh. Was it? Oh.
Yeah, but the ferries over there are quite large.
He's like, I'll spend the money on getting there, but it's all right. I can cut costs because I'm only going to be on there for a night.
That's exactly right. I won't be disappointed. I'm not even going for the
cruise. We don't need to go 7.
What was it called? You had the name of it. What was it called?
Yeah, it was called
Something Escape.
The Island Escape.
It's a weird name. Okay. Something in the med, to be honest. Schmitty's just going through her.
I'm looking at the boat.
Her database.
That's a hell of a ferry. Like, that's not what I would have called a ferry. But if I'm looking at the right one, okay, I've got a better sense of it.
They are very big ferries over there. Like, it's not like a Manly ferry or the Sydney Harbour one.
The ones that have all the cars on them and that. Yeah, they drive onto them most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only got 2 tenders and 4 lifeboats on one side, so it's a lot smaller than what you're going on. It looks big, but
it's nowhere near the big.
Yeah.
Were you saying that just to make me feel a little bit better?
Yeah. Your boat's...
No, you guys are going on a converted ferry.
A no-frills converted ferry.
It sounds better by the day.
Yeah. So Kocontes had specifically asked for a balcony room. It was very important to him, the prosecutor said. To be fair...
I like one too, though. And me too. Yeah. We always get, as I said, from the outset, we always get a balcony. Yeah. And I could tell you, I know you all, I hope you're joking when you say you're going to be terrified being on this. But there is nothing like leaving the door open and listening to the
that'd be good.
Sea. You've got to do
people being
it.
Burdened and thrown overboard. See you later. Yeah.
No, it's
like
so
lemmings.
Beautiful. No.
Oh, what's that I can hear? Oh, that's someone being raped next door. Oh, what's that I can hear? That's someone being thrown overboard.
That experience.
I know. They're just the 2 stories that we've talked about the last couple of weeks.
I think I just heard that small neck bone cracking.
Oh my God, Stu, did you hear that? Oh my God, did you hear that? I could have sworn I heard someone.
What was that?
It sounds like a gang raping. Quick.
Oh, yuck.
I'll shut the door. It's too noisy. I can't sleep.
Oh, yeah, look, it's double glazed. Just shut it. We won't hear a thing. We're fine.
Oh, my God, you poor people.
So, Amy testified against her former husband and told the jury Lonnie had admitted he wanted Mickey killed on the ship. Lonnie pleaded not guilty. He claimed he and Mickey were planning to get remarried and the cruise had been the start of their new life together.
Until he went back home the next day.
Correct.
With Amy.
Yeah. I was so,
gutted. That didn't.
I
can't believe it. Oh, bummer. She's gone.
Back to Catherine Tate. What a load of old shit.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, one day later. Oh, that was a shame. That's not what I was hoping for. Oh, well.
Well, I'm a bit lonely now. Wonder what Amy's doing.
Yeah. Oh, she was a hornbag. Maybe I'll fly straight back to her.
I wonder how much money she had because he's only interested in money and sex. Yeah.
That's right.
Ugh.
So his defence said the injuries Mickey had sustained around her neck and head were consistent with a fall. They said that due to Mickey's arthritis, Lonnie had been the one who had financially supported her, but it was clear the money was tied up in their mutual assets. In June 2020, Lonnie, then 62, was convicted of first-degree murder and the added conviction of murder for financial gain.
Jeepers. Murder for financial gain? Yeah, I've never heard that before.
So 3 months later, he faced sentencing. Mickey's brother, Toshi Kanasaki, made a statement. You, Lonnie, executed my younger sister on that Mediterranean cruise ship, he said. You strangled Mickey, then you threw her body overboard like trash. You are a vicious criminal, evil person, a cold-blooded killer, a sociopath. Toshi added that Lonnie was rotten to the core and deserved to be behind bars for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Lonnie continued to deny his part in Mickey's death and again tried to suggest she had taken her own life. I stood by Miki Kanazaki through significant periods of depression, he said.
Till death do us part, in sickness and in health.
But not depression.
But not depression. Yeah, good times and bad. No.
I went to counselling with her. I did everything I could to help Miki Kanazaki to overcome her depression.
Why
I
is
did
he
not
talking
murder
about her like she wasn't his wife, though? This
Yeah,
Miki
I know.
Kanazaki business.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
why is he
right?
using her maiden name? I really don't like that.
Just so they don't confuse her with all the other people who have names that sound like that.
Kokonasi. What was his name?
Tanasi Kokonakis.
Kananks. What's his name? Cock and...
Oh, Kocontes, you mean?
Kocontes, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the name? Is that the tennis player
You're talking about tennis players.
And what's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name?
Tanasi Kokonakis. The judge was unmoved, saying, in this court's mind, there is no question of the defendant's guilt.
The judge
Wow.
was tired like Schmitty and said, no,
Absolutely.
you're a bastard,
What
you're
a
done.
load of
I'm
old
out.
shit! He said,
The judge actually said that.
so,
I think that's what she did, or she did say
yes,
without
but much
saying.
more
Yeah.
eloquently than us. Yes.
the judge was unmoved, saying, what a load of old shit, before sentencing Lonnie to life in prison without the chance of parole.
Good job.
Due to the length of the sentence, charges regarding trying to have his third wife, Amy, killed were dropped.
Oh, well, because it's no point. It's just going to cost everyone money and he's already gone live anyway. Is that what we're hearing? Yeah.
I think so, and she's not dead, so, no harm, no foul. I must say, at least they're not going, let's spend all this money trying to get him on a second concurrent life sentence. So there you go. That, my friends, is the rather short but somewhat entertaining story of Laurie and Mickey. You're so
Oh,
fine.
Mickey, you're so
You're so
fine. You're so
fine.
fine.
You blow my mind.
Mickey. Poor Mickey, though. I mean, no one deserves to be strangled and
She actually
thrown.
looks really lovely, and not that it looks.
Does she? I looked at photos of her. I thought she looked
so.
like a bit of a hard-faced bitch, but that's all right.
Who was that?
That doesn't mean she deserves to be strangled
Mickey?
and killed.
Jesus, you really are tired today, Schmidt. I think you need to go to bed after this. Before you kill
I
someone.
might have to edit that out. Yeah.
Mickey
sorry.
might have been a lawyer too. Maybe that's why she had some money.
Was she?
She
Well,
was
I
a
can see-
paralegal.
Oh, that's right. You
she
did
was
tell
like-
us at the beginning.
She was
sorry,
like
yeah.
Megan in Suits.
Lonnie Kocontes, that name is enough for me.
Which name?
We don't need any evidence. His
Lonnie-
name is Lonnie
Lonnie- that was the
Kocontes. That's it. You're guilty. You're out.
That name just threw me. I was like, Kocontes. It's suddenly...
I reckon Lonnie's weirder, isn't it?
Yeah, I find that the whole name I find weird. Lonnie
What do you reckon
Kocontes.
Lonnie's short for?
I don't know.
Lonnie. Lawrence? No. No, it's
Laurie,
Greek. It's a Greek name, isn't it?
Londos.
Kocontes.
Is that
I'm
what
okay
we
with
say, Lonnie?
Kocontes.
He's a Greek man.
Kocontes is Greek, surely.
Not that it really matters.
Like, in ages, I don't need that. I'm intrigued. Alonzo.
Is
Oh,
it?
really?
Hang on. What is
not
the male
for-
name Lonnie short for? Yeah, it says Alonzo here.
In
A
French?
Spanish or Italian.
I mean, it's Spanish.
Oh, maybe Kocontes.
We need to know. We
is
could probably work
Spanish.
out what's Kocontes.
Kocontes
Maybe
could
he
be
was
Spanish.
like Hispanic.
All right. Well, I think I'm ready to punish him.
Yeah, you'll have a grumpy sentence.
Here we
'cause
go.
You're
Oh, God, I
tired.
haven't even thought
Sure.
about it.
Wind her up, let her go. Come on.
Brace yourself.
Well, look, he definitely did it, in my opinion. No, he did. He's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone else thinks he did too. I think it's a real shame it took so long to get him actually banged to rights for it, because he had 14 years of walking
Freedom,
around and
yep.
and he cut her life short, which is terrible.
It's true. It's kind of like he's nearly going to jail for his retirement. 14 years at that age is a big difference in 14
It is,
years when
isn't
you're
it?
older. When you're older, it's like, oh, I'm done now.
Yeah, your late 40s to your early
Yeah.
60s.
I agree. So for me, while you've been doing these cruise crimes, a few times I've been kind of doing just a very light touch research on nautical punishments, in history.
So database of punishments.
Yeah. Can I just ask,
Tweaking my database.
when you say cruise crime, do you also hear the song Freeze Frame?
Yeah. I do, yes.
Cruise crime.
I do, every time. I'm trying to ignore it in my head every time I hear it. But while you've been doing cruise crimes, and I did keel hauling, and you were all horrified by keel hauling, and you were amazed that I knew what it was even before I actually got the correct way of talking about it on Wikipedia. The thing about a lot of the nautical crimes, and this, we're talking 400 or 500 years ago, or in the last, let's say 500 years to now, right? So that, people were really brutal toward other people, and there were terrible things that happened. And I must admit, shy away from talking about things like flogging and cat o' nine tails.
Right.
But it really limits the field, because apparently that was like the big thing to do when you're on a pirate ship or a naval ship or whatever, and you'd done the wrong thing. So I was thinking, because of I know we think he strangled her and killed her before he threw her overboard. But I think, let's put him on your ship, right? Like your 16.
No thanks.
No. No one else is on it. It's just him.
Just him.
Oh, rightio.
And the executioner type situation, right? So
Right.
he can't hurt anyone. But it's 16 stories, I think you said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to hurt when you hit the water, right?
Yeah.
And let's go old school and have a walk the plank scenario.
Nice.
Oh.
And when they walked the plank, they used to, do nasty things to them, but they would often tie them up as well, so that once they were in the water, they couldn't swim away. Because I've always, you watch pirate films and stuff, and you think, what's the point of walking the plank? I mean, you just dive off. It's, if you dive properly, you get down and you swim away, and, you might drown, but also you're not dead. But no, apparently they tied them up.
You
so it
are
was
if you
much harder.
drown. Did you know that?
Yes, but also the interesting thing is a lot of the seamen at the time didn't know how to swim.
You said seaman.
I did.
My natural father was a seaman. So
Yes, he was.
I'm adopted. And
That's how we got to the egg.
when I was little, there was like a document that you're given when you're adopted, and it sort of tried to give you an idea of who your parents were without your natural parents, without saying who they were. So it said job, and it said that he was a seaman, which I used to think was disappointing, I'll be honest.
Schmitty, is it true that, like in the olden days, one of the biggest problems with infertility at the moment is that seamen can't swim?
Shorter tails.
Yes, clearly they're connected.
So
Because
seamen couldn't
in the
swim all
olden
those
days
years
couldn't
ago.
swim. That's
and
right.
Now, today, same problem.
Not all of them, but a lot of people couldn't swim. That's right. When I was talking about seamen not being able to swim, I was talking about people who worked as naval staff. Let's put
You
it that way.
confuse me all the time.
You knew exactly what I was talking about, you cheeky. Yeah, so I think I'll get him to walk the plank, or we'll tie him up so that he can't actually swim away. I think that's probably pretty awful, but, he can just get out of the water and be, if he's still alive, and have to walk 16 flights of stairs because the elevators are out, and then he has to jump off again.
Nice.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's me.
Yeah. Does he go head first or feet first?
Normally I think they went feet first because they jumped off the plank.
And
they didn't
as
really
he goes
dive.
feet first, is it true that a whale is swimming very close to the surface of the water, so he just goes and squashes himself on he hits a really hard surface instead of...
Well, think if you jumped out of if you jumped off the 16-story boat, it's like hitting concrete. Like, seriously, water is just as hard. Maybe a great white shark with its jaws open, waiting for him.
It would go straight into its stomach. And possibly out its tail.
Straight into the stomach. Do not pass go. Yeah.
Do we put a couple of buckets of burley in before he jumps in?
Yeah.
Well, that's how we got the shark there in the first place. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good work.
Stands to reason.
Okay. So that's my nautical punishment, given that we're on the high seas. Har, me hearties.
Har. Swanee, are you ready?
I think so. I'm often sort of outraged with people. I'm not with these people. Honestly, Lonnie and Amy disappoint me. They just disappoint me. I don't think that they're
Losers.
I think he's a douche. That's what I think he is. And Amy disappoints me hugely because Amy went along with it when it suited her until it didn't. Then, of course, she's come forward. But that was many years. It wasn't like, she felt a little bit remorse at some point, thought, gosh, this is really not the right thing. I've done the wrong thing. No. It was
It's interesting,
so many
isn't
years
it,
later.
the
Yeah.
Amy thing, because she said that he'd said he was going to do it, and
Yep.
also that he'd said he loves her and always wants to be with her before
Yeah.
he leaves her and goes back.
Yeah. She was very happy to benefit from all that. So I just say that I'm disappointed in you, Amy. Not surprised, but I am disappointed. Now, the two things...
She's cut to the core having heard that. Yeah. She's
That's
very
what a
upset.
mum's supposed to say. Oh, I'm very disappointed. Nothing could be harsher. But I'm trying to go back to the sort of the tenets of things that seem to be the most important to Lonnie, which were money and sex. And when I think of money and sex, and I think of sort of something that's a bit damning, I thought maybe we could give him lots of money and lots of sex, but he not be in control. Because when you have the control to have sex with who you want to and have money and the power's all on your side, that's a very different equation than money and sex when you're the person who's being, a victim or being pimped or whatever it is.
Right.
So I thought maybe I could try and flip it and put his two favourite things, money and sex, and make them his very least favourite things, where perhaps he's prostituted out and has no choice with whom he's having sex with, what sex they are, who they were, how they treat him, just so he gets the comeuppance of this is how hideous things can be when you're not the big man who thinks he's in control of everything, when actually the control's totally taken away from you.
He could go back
jailhouse, schoolhouse, outhouse. I got a nut punch, city limits.
Nut punch.
I think he could go back to the room of the Adelaide bikies, couldn't he?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and they could get photos and everything.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He just needs to have that idea, because I suspect that he's traded on. For someone, I don't know. I am making some assumptions.
So ordinary,
given what he's done, and the type of job he's got, the women that he's with. How he just was a bit of a manipulator in terms of how he made the situation work for him. Yeah, I have to believe that he was not a nice person. And, everything was to benefit him, whether it be through money or sex or both. So I just want to use those two things against him to show him that, whilst you're in control, it's a very different equation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Lonnie.
Yeah, cop that.
Yeah.
Cop
and again, and you don't, yes.
And what about you, Clarky? What have you got for him?
I do tend to agree with Carla about Amy. I'm not 100% convinced that she was completely innocent in the whole thing. But
no.
But in terms of him,
really, because I called that shit early on.
I know.
Piss off, Amy.
Yeah, you were all over it. You and your tired pants. You got straight to the point. So I think all of the money that he has needs to go to Toshi to share amongst the Kanasaki family.
Yeah.
Because, he was power of attorney and he obviously got a whole lot of money through this. The fact that he married and divorced 4 different women, the fact that he thinks it's okay to leave and then come back just for the purpose of killing someone for money, it's just such a horrible, manipulative thing.
I do find the marriage thing interesting in the sense that I've been exposed to things in the past where I'm aware of usually men who choose to be with women who don't marry them, right? So for a man and a lawyer to continue to marry women, that's something
weird,
quite
isn't
interesting in and of itself. I think that has to do, again, with power, what I will get if something happens, all of that kind of stuff. We're talking about like life insurance policies. I think he's doing it because it gives him some kind of
authority,
there's a payout. Yeah. It's not just. I think it's all to do with the law and how it will benefit him, because it's unusual that you'd be. Why would you get married time and time and time again? It doesn't. I know that people do it, but it's not necessarily the norm, is it?
But also, like, Nikki sounded as if she might have been Japanese or something with the Kanasaki surname.
Yeah.
Amy was Vietnamese, quietly spoken, So I think the people he's picking are probably people who he can control and he can...
Culturally, he can control a lot more.
Yeah, and so, from Amy's perspective, she probably didn't, she probably didn't have anyone else that she could depend on, and he...
We don't know enough about her to know that.
I think that's
true.
right, but I could see that there could be something in there whereby she
was a bit of a victim
to a degree, but didn't really have much control or much ability to get away.
Piss
Anyway,
off, Amy.
so yeah, all the money goes to the Kanasakis. I want him to, so because he got 14 years more than he should have outside of jail,
Yep.
I want his jail life to be somewhat similar to Carl Williams,
Ooh.
who copped a fair whacking with a gym
Exercise bike?
Dumbbell.
Oh, no, it was
Dumbbell,
the
right.
seat,
Oh,
it was the
nothing-
seat of the
Something to do with
exercise
the
bike.
exercise bike.
It's
One
the
of
seat-
your Melbourne gangsters.
Yeah. They pulled the seat out of the exercise bike.
And murdered him.
Oh,
Did they
don't
kill
tell
him
me.
with him? That's how they killed him, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
Beat him to death with the seat of an
Especially
exercise
Teddy
bike,
with it.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I misunderstood that.
Oh, no,
Why?
they
What
didn't
did-
Roger him with it.
I thought they were going to put him
Wasn't
on
it-
top, took the seat
Oh,
off.
no,
I
they didn't
misunderstood.
do that.
They killed him externally.
Maybe we should give that to Lonnie, and then he can do a spin class for as long as he can keep himself off it.
Oh my god!
You just
No, I
keep,
thought I honestly
you
thought
just
that's
keep
how.
pedaling that bike,
No.
sunshine. At some
Yeah,
point,
I thought that's how he
your
died.
legs will get tired.
They
Right,
belted him
okay.
over their head with a
Yeah.
bit of the exercise bike seat.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't want him to live past 62 because I feel like
Jeepers. And
He
I'm
got
the
those-
tired and grumpy
he
one.
got those 14. Yeah, he got those 14 years that he just shouldn't have. And this is the thing. I don't know that the cruise ship lines have skin in the game with this stuff. You know, if it was a pub or a nightclub, there would be cameras everywhere. I don't know why this isn't the case. Even in 2008, I reckon there were a lot more cameras. So, or 2006. Anyway, let's see, Schmitty, in 4 weeks' time whether
Whether
yours
there's actually appropriate surveillance, yeah.
Can you take photos and send me them of all of the cameras?
Happily. I'm happy to do that so that you can feel
Great.
reassured that
Thanks.
at least on the celebrity line, that we've got cameras.
Great. Right.
Okay, wow. I'm still reeling from the the spin class from hell.
I can't believe that's how. When you said that it killed him, I thought, oh my god, they've pushed him onto that
Internal rupturing.
injuries.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
awful.
Oh, God.
But no, that didn't happen. It was just in your sick mind.
There,
And you
Swanee.
always
Oh,
think you're
no.
the sick one.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I'd never heard of that. I didn't know about that.
Revealed.
So that-
77 episodes later, we reveal the true Swanee. I'm only kidding.
Swanee, you could write a book on what I've learnt after 77 episodes of podcasting.
I'm not sure anything's particularly helpful on a day-to-day level.
I'm
I'm
my
worried it's
friend
more the things
Schmitty is
that
a
keep
bit
you
of
up
a
at night.
psychopath.
Yeah,
and
things that keep you up at night. How crazy people are.
Well, yeah, but the good thing about it is that en masse, and when you think about it statistically, the
Yeah.
crazy people are anomalies. You know, like it's not everyone. That's the good news.
I
Just
know,
to
but
just
it's
put that out there for
never-ending
anyone who's
source
worrying
of
about this stuff and feeling anxious. We're pulling out stories over time, over whatever, and it's anomalous. So don't panic. All right. Well, I think that was I feel very sorry for Mickey, but it was quite a funny episode. So cheers and thanks for letting me laugh through my tiredness. I appreciate it. Miss you already, although I'm going to see you next week.
Person. Ciao.
Person.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.